All right, hey guys, welcome to the CNC Connection. It's Colin, Corey, and Joe tonight. Colin in New York City. I'm in Agawam, Massachusetts, and Joe's in Worcester, Massachusetts. We're all around the world, or just all around the eastern seaboard, the northeast of the United States. But so wow, big episode, huh?
Yeah, I mean, they kind of told us that it was going to be one of the bigger episodes, and they definitely delivered.
It's too bad that
Go ahead.
the Spice Girls kind of stole the thunder of this Breaking Bad episode, though. First reunion in over a lot of years, huh? Crazy.
Yeah, everyone's talking about that.
No, but seriously, like this was a pretty like Colin said, I guess it didn't disappoint. I want to try a new thing out. You know how we usually go over like what's our overall rating of the episode. I want to try putting a number on these episodes. Just we'll see how it goes. Colin, if you could rate this episode on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you give it?
I would give it an 8. Yeah. And you want an explanation with it, or you just want the number?
A brief explanation. I mean, we're gonna go in depth.
I mean, it was a great episode and everything, but it was just a smaller part of the story, I guess. The big story, because
right.
They need to get methylamine, and they just did it in an exciting way. So that's the important part. I actually thought Walt kind of seemed a little rational in this episode, and he kind of almost went back. Like I was almost rooting for him again, sort of, in a way. I mean, he did put everyone in danger, and just by going too long.
Yeah.
And but he was being like a kind of a good dad with Flynn now. So
it's Flynn again, yeah.
So I mean, I don't know. I guess the fact that they killed the kid at the end, but
spoiler alert.
Spoiler. But that really wasn't Walt, so it's hard to say that Walt went down that road even more this episode. But I would give it an 8 still.
Joe?
I guess I'd give it a 9. I mean,
Wow.
It was pretty good. I think I wasn't here last week, but I'd give the last week's episode a 10 probably.
Yeah,
that was just crazy.
Yeah.
It wasn't like it was a subtle crazy though. Like it wasn't in your face. It was just like really good.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree that Walt. He was kind of mellow when he was home, and he was like, he's not fighting Skyler like I thought he was going to, and he is manipulating everybody, but he's manipulating Hank.
Yeah.
Yep.
Skyler doesn't love me anymore, and
I was almost waiting for after that. I was waiting for him to like have right when like Hank left the room. I was waiting for him just to start like have this like shit-eating grin, like this evil grin on his face. I was just waiting for it, but they never gave it to me.
Right.
But like that's kind of cliche, but
he's not that evil yet, I guess. But that was just a very good episode. I don't know what they could have done better. I mean,
yeah.
I thought something was going to go wrong at the end.
I did. Well, it kind of did, but at the same like.
Yeah, but
I thought there was going to be something wrong.
I thought maybe the guy who was up on top of the train was going to like forget something up there.
Yeah, that's what I thought. We still do it. They might have. We don't know.
Like I thought they were all going to be standing there and then realize they did something wrong that's going to give them away.
Yeah. You know?
But then that kid shows up and.
Yeah.
And like, so what are they going to do? And the guy just whips out his gun and shoots the kid. But
I thought Mike was going to do it.
And once again, you just can't predict this show.
No.
No,
that's
definitely.
That's what makes it so good.
Yeah.
But and I think this is going to be something that's going to set Jesse off into. Jesse is now going to become like a rebellious like force, I think.
Like rebellious against the group?
Disruptive. I think he's going to be disruptive because he just doesn't like that, and he doesn't.
especially kids. He doesn't like murder in general, but especially kids. Like, you saw what happened with Brock, and he almost lost it. He almost killed Walt over it.
Right.
And Brock wasn't even dead, but he knew Brock at the same time. But like, yeah, kid murder is never good.
But what? I guess we could get into this later. You can give us the rating, Corey.
Oh well, my rating is because obviously we had high expectations for this episode because there's a lot of rumors going around, tweets and such about how 5 and 7 are gonna be crazy.
Yeah, I kind of wish they didn't do that because I kind of had a little bit. I mean, I had high expectations. I get delivered, but
it definitely delivered. But like throughout the episode, I'm like, okay, well, this is not even like this isn't as good as last week, you know. But throughout the episode, I'm like, okay, well, going into like the beginning of the episode, I thought it was like a solid 7, but like that last part, I think it bolstered it up to an 8. That might have been one of the more tense scenes I've ever seen on television. You know.
When the train's getting ready to pull out.
Just the train scene in general, the music, like waiting for something to go wrong, basically. Like, because at first I thought they were like the show was almost jumping at the shark. I'm like, how are they gonna rob a train? You know, like, but they did it in such a way like it was almost believable. I thought they like took a lot of chances because like, what if the train people saw the train or saw the car a little farther down the line and they stopped like 100 yards earlier? You know, they're fucked.
Yeah, that's
stuff like
point.
that.
And all those guys had to do, those 2 engineers, is turn around and look, and they would have seen the guy on the train.
They had a generator running, and those aren't silent or quiet by any means. Those are fucking loud machines.
Yeah,
you know, they had power tools going with the drills, and I don't know. I mean, I don't know how far it was. I don't know how they filmed it.
Well, they were 800 something. I don't know if it was feet or yards away.
Yards. Steady yards.
So that's pretty far away.
Yeah, that's like 3 football fields. I guess that is pretty far, but still, like, you're in the middle of the desert. I think you would hear the generator.
Yeah.
But I guess the train engines were still running for some, like, I don't know. Obviously, they didn't hear, but it just seemed like they took a lot of risks.
Mike could see them. So I think if those guys, like when they were getting back in the train, if they just looked back, they would have seen them. But I think I kind of think they're letting too many people in on it, you know?
Yeah, I don't trust this guy, the Todd guy.
No, and the guy who drove the truck, who parked the truck on the tracks.
Yeah.
He was in the, that's Bill Burr, the comedian, if anyone's wondering. He has a couple small roles. He was the, when they were trying to buy the car wash, he was the guy who came in and he pretended he was the inspector. It's the same guy. So he's like I think he's like a friend of Saul. So I think he's a pretty tight-knit guy. So
yeah,
he's done a few things in the past.
I knew he looked familiar.
He did that.
I was trying to think of where I'd seen him before.
He's also a stand-up comic, so that might be too.
Yeah.
But he did. He was with Ted Beneke with Huel, and he was in the room when Ted almost died.
Yeah.
Right.
So he's been working for them a few times.
Right.
Okay. So
that kid, I don't think you can trust
he must
that kid.
know Mike or something.
Well, I think he works for Saul, and Saul like referred him to him.
Oh, I see. Yeah, right. But I mean that whole exterminating crew there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They know what's going on.
And those people in the junkyard,
they don't know they robbed a train, but they know they're doing something illegal in there. And it just seems like there's too many people that they're trusting.
I don't know. I think Mike seems like a guy who's not going to let like something go wrong, though.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. I mean, I think I think the same thing as you do, but at the same time, I feel like Mike's got everything under control at all times for some reason. He's just got that like Superman status. For me, you know, some like characters have that in shows.
Well, they have some sort of connection because they're all like clients of Saul, so I guess they have some sort of protection if it comes down to it.
Right. Let's like we did last week. Let's break down the episode. Just recap it, and then we'll review as we recap. I thought that worked out well last week.
All right, let's do it.
So what was the first scene? Oh yeah, the kid.
Motorcycle.
The cold opening. He was riding around on a motorcycle and he picked up a tarantula. And I'm like, I texted you, Colin. I'm like, tarantula? Like, and then we kind of forgot about him for the next 50 or so minutes. You know?
Yep, that's pretty much it. Yeah, he just see this kid run around on his dirt bike, and that's pretty much it.
Yep, and then It opens up with Hank's office, right? Mike
Yep.
pays or not Mike. Walt pays a visit to Hank.
Right.
And
Yeah.
I guess that was part of the whole scheme because I thought he was just planting a bug in there just for safekeeping. But it was a part of a whole scheme for Lydia.
Yeah, I didn't think they would go to that those lengths to try to figure out if Lydia was lying or not. But I guess they would want to make sure if those barrels were safe. So
Right. Yeah, I mean that's obviously a precaution you have to take, though. You know.
yeah.
I'm slowly becoming a drug runner expert watching this show. That's not true, but yeah, I mean, for the most part, like the scenes prior to the train scene were sort of, I don't want to say not intense. Oh, I guess I take that back. That first scene with Lydia was pretty intense.
Yeah, I like that scene a lot too.
Yeah, just the lighting and it was dark. Just like
yeah, I keep thinking she's gonna die at any moment, but
yeah.
I kind of like her as just like an actress. She's just kind of crazy.
I was with the same thing. Like, she was very good in that scene. She was like about to break, and she was like, you could tell she was terrified. She played it off very well.
you could tell she's totally stressed out, but she's also very smart.
Yeah.
And you could tell you just can't trust her.
Yeah.
You can't read her, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know where her loyalties lie, I guess.
She's just kind of crazy, and I think Mike knows it. So
yeah. Clearly, he was about to kill her, even though it wasn't even her fault. He was still going to kill her. But going back to that Hank Walt scene where he planted the bug, that was I think that was even pretty, not intense, but it's pretty. I don't know what the word is.
good.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, I like it too.
Can't think of the word good, but yeah, no, I mean like the way Walt is just playing everybody now is just pretty
He was definitely faking, right? Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I'm sure he's bothered by the whole Skylar hating him thing. I'm sure that definitely wears on him because it's his wife after all, and they've been married for 30 or so years, whatever. But
Yeah.
I'm sure he was playing it up.
Yeah, I don't always know. I'm not always sure that I buy into the way he expects her to just put up with it all, you know.
I know.
He's always like so surprised when she confronts him about anything, or maybe he's just pretending to be surprised or whatever, but he's always just like, you know, you're gonna get used to me, you know, you'll be all right, you know.
I know. He makes a comment. I was thinking about this.
She's clearly not gonna be all right.
I was thinking about this later in the episode. It's like he makes a comment to her. I think you've seen too many movies. I think Walt's seen too many movies. Like where everyone's just okay with it.
Yeah. Right. I can buy it because just for that Walt got away with so much last season, and he came out alive, and he's just so cocky now that he just assumes everything's going to work out, you know?
Yeah, well, he's living in his own, like, moral universe, you know? Like, all of this stuff is justified.
Yeah.
And he's expecting Skylar to see it that way. Like, you know, we're doing this for us, and whatever we have to do, and, you know. But she just sees him as a monster now.
Yeah,
you know?
she can't even... She even just says, I'm a hostage. I'll do whatever you want. I want the kids out of the house. She just wants nothing to do with Walt.
Yeah, she even said that. I'm not your wife. I'm a hostage.
Yeah. It's like, how's Walter going to get laid now? You know?
Right.
That's the big crux of the thing. I think that's the big problem with the show right now. That's the big conflict. How is Walt going to get laid? Is he still going to get hand jobs? I don't know.
Hey, you know what I was thinking? I don't know if you guys talked about this last week, but when the scene where Skylar walked into the pool, and then Walt went in and got her, and then Walt and Hank are sitting outside, and then Hank's wife comes out. Yep. I can't remember her name. What's her name? Marie. She comes out, and she says, okay, we got to go, and everything's going to be fine, blah, blah, blah. I wonder what Skylar told her.
Hmm.
Do you think she told her everything?
No.
Yeah, I don't either. I think it was just that she wanted her to take the kids so they could have time to talk out their marriage. That's what I assume.
Yeah, I don't think she told Marie because she knows Marie's a blabbermouth. And because didn't Marie? No, that was Walt who told her, and Walt spilled Marie spilled the beans. But yeah, she knows Marie can't be trusted like that. And she even said later in the episode that I'm gonna keep your secrets as long as the kids are out of the house. I think she was being genuine.
Yeah.
I don't think she would tell Marie
right.
because there's too much at risk. She knows she's in trouble too.
Yeah, I guess it was just the look on Marie's face when she came out of there. It was. I thought maybe she knew something, or.
I just think that it was because she just saw her sister try to commit suicide in a weird way.
Yeah, that's true.
But right. I don't know. I mean, it's definitely possible. You never know with a show, but I don't think they went down that route.
Yeah.
I feel like they got too many balls to juggle in the air right now without entering another one.
I like your metaphors.
Never heard that one? I messed it up, but it's definitely a metaphor out there. But
balls to juggle in the air.
I know it's not the right funny because you said balls.
Yeah. I said bows. But what happened after the Lydia hostage scene?
I think there was a commercial, and then they come back when she says that she can have him rob the train, like that whole thing.
Yep, that's where she proposed the train robbery situation.
Right.
I really didn't think they were gonna do it. It just seemed like really not feasible.
I mean, it doesn't seem feasible, but the fact that they brought it up, I knew they were going to, and they're going to go through the whole Breaking Bad way of pointing out all the things that could go wrong and stuff like that. But
right. I didn't think they were going to do it.
I just I didn't know if Mike was going to just not want to be part of it, or
yeah.
And that's kind of one of the problems I think I had with the episode is I kind of knew they were going to do it the whole time, and then I kind of knew that nothing was going to they weren't going to nothing really bad was going to happen to Walt, Jesse, or Mike. So it's just nothing could happen to them. I guess something could happen to Mike, but it just didn't seem.
You were watching 10 minutes ahead of me, and you texted me, how Jesse? I thought you meant how could you do that? And I'm like, oh God, what did Jesse do? Did he kill Mike or something? and then he's like, what if we robbed the train without them knowing? And then I was like, oh, Colin was just asking how they're going to do that.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was.
I thought you dropped a spoiler out of me.
No.
Yeah, and I thought it was interesting. Walter was willing to off the two engineers.
Yeah, that was another. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was just thinking that's kind of fuck. These guys are just conductors, but they're innocent.
Yeah, and I have a feeling he's not going to be all that upset about the little kid either. But
yeah, he definitely didn't make any. He didn't yell or anything like that.
He already poisoned one kid. I mean,
that's true.
He's the honey badger. He doesn't give a shit. But yeah, I mean, I didn't think they were going to rob the train in this episode. I thought it was going to be down the line. But the season has been really fast paced. They started cooking in the second episode or second or third episode, and it's just very everything's so much faster now. You compare it to the first season where nothing really got done.
Yeah. I still think it needs a driving force because some of it is you're seeing Walt just keep going down this road.
Yeah.
But there's no plot line where he's getting pinned into a corner or something. But it's a long season too,
Yeah, but I think this is this episode with shooting the little kid. I think that's what's going to set Jesse off.
Yeah.
And Jesse's going to start to be a disruptive force.
Yep.
He's going to want out. He's going to want nothing to do with this anymore. And it might take a few episodes to build up, but I think that's where they're going to go.
Well, we have 3 more episodes left in this half season now. And it's going to be interesting because the other episode that everyone's claiming is going to be crazy is the 7th, and that's right after next week. So, obviously something's going to happen, and we all think that Jesse is going to start going against the grain.
Yeah.
Or so to speak. But I mean, I really don't know what's going to happen in this little half season.
Do you think?
I wonder if, go ahead.
Do you think there's any chance Jesse goes into like depressed mode like last season?
No, I think he's over that whole depressed thing. I think he's more of a man of action now. You know?
Yeah, because he's not on drugs anymore, and I think he's trying to be a decent person, you know. But I think somebody is going to die this season.
This half season?
Maybe that'll happen in the 7th. Maybe Skylar, maybe Mike.
Yeah.
Even
I made the prediction last week that Skylar's definitely dying this season.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. Just because of the they brought it up again how Skylar was the one that always does the bacon for him. And the flash forward in the beginning is him doing the bacon. Like I feel like that's like him remembering Skylar sort of thing. But that's just my opinion.
I mean, it sounds pretty solid to me. But
hey, what was that cold opening they did a few episodes ago, where there were these executives? Did we ever find out what that is?
Oh, that was back in Germany, wasn't it?
Right.
With Madrigal when they were trying out all the different chickens with the sauces and stuff.
Right.
That was Gus's like partner, not partner, but like a subsidiary or something like that back in Germany. He was involved with the venting and stuff for the meth lab.
Okay.
And I guess he got pinched or whatever, and he decided just to kill himself.
I see. Oh, that's right. Okay.
But yeah.
And then like that whole group of executives had to come to the U.S. to be questioned by the DA and stuff like that.
It's all coming back to me. Okay.
And Lydia was in that group, so I think that's where they were trying to put Lydia into our minds.
That kind of introduced Lydia to us.
Yeah, but I didn't even notice her, to be honest.
No, I didn't either, because we were all focused on the guy putting, I don't even know, like defibrillator against himself and killing himself on a toilet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, I can't think of anything else that really, because it was like such a fast-paced episode and didn't really like.
This episode?
Yeah, it was a really fast. Like I guess it wasn't fast-paced, but like it was intense towards the end.
Yeah, I didn't think they were going to rob the train in this episode.
No.
Either. I thought this was going to take them a while, but I like it. I like the pace.
Yeah, I definitely like it. It's definitely better than the first season. Like I think the first season was really slow. I almost gave up on it, but
yeah,
I'm glad I stuck with it, obviously. But yeah, and now this like the past 2 seasons have just been like the past 3 seasons have just been like crazy fast. Like stuff is happening all the time, but this season especially, I feel like they really ramped up the pace. A lot of stuff is happening.
Yep.
I almost feel like they could even draw out some of the stuff. Like they could have made 2 more seasons, or not 2 more, but like 1 more. Like instead of having 1 long season, they could have had 2 normal seasons.
Yeah, maybe. I'm kind of glad. I don't like it when shows get drawn out either.
No, I mean, it wouldn't draw it out. It would only draw it out what, like 8 more episodes. I mean, I think it's doable. It could have been doable, but at the same time, I'm not complaining. I'm just saying it wouldn't have destroyed the show.
Do you guys know when the last season's going to start?
Next summer, I think, right?
Yeah, it's going to be a year from when it started, I think.
Oh, jeez.
Yep, yeah, it's pretty bullshit.
I mean, I think we're being a little spoiled right now. We got a big fall coming up.
Yeah.
A lot of good shows are coming on this fall. I think they'll hold us over.
I'm just saying, Walking Dead can do a little break. They can't do it with Breaking Bad. Although they do 16 episodes, that'd be kind of hard. Instead of 12.
Walking Dead is 16?
No.
Oh yeah.
Breaking Bad's doing 16, but Walking Dead does 6 and then 6, I think.
Yeah, it's lame.
I can imagine just writing these stories must take a long time, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
Think about everything that goes into developing the story and getting actors and you know what I mean, Corey.
Oh, I know.
Just setting up all those episodes. It's like a little movie every time, you know.
Yeah.
Yep.
Very true.
But I just think that the writing in general, like the detail with like the way they pull off these heists, I guess, is just, I it's really well done. That like they go through everything, they literally do. Like, I don't know. I was like, how are they gonna rob a train without anyone knowing? Or are they gonna like? I was just going through my mind, and then like they come up with this like system, I guess. And obviously, it's kind of far fetched, especially this one, but it's feasible.
The tension when they were on that train, and Mike saying, the track is clear, get those guys off the train, and Walter's just going, keep going, and I'm just like, you asshole. I'm just like, you're gonna get everybody fucking busted.
I know. I'm shaking my head. I'm like, what the fuck is Walt doing? Get out of there! Like, you're being so selfish. The thing is overflowing right now.
like really, how much more methylamine is gonna make that much difference?
He has to have everything his way, And,
yeah, like there's like very few scenes that are as tense as that, like that last 15-minute segment. It was crazy,
Yeah, and then you get, they do it, they celebrate, and all that pressure is like released.
Yeah, but I was like, boom, something's going wrong.
The kid shows up. And,
yeah. I thought like Mike was gonna come out and kill him. I did not expect Todd to do it.
Yeah.
Like they killed a kid. Like, how often do you see a kid murdered on screen?
That's a good point.
That's what made it awesome.
I know.
I mean, Game of Thrones did kill a baby, but
Yeah, they killed a lot of babies. Oh, spoiler alert joke. Sorry, I don't know.
But that was kind of off screen too, though.
Yeah, and a lot of things are like racing through my head when the kid first shows up and he waves, and I'm like, what are they gonna do? Are they gonna grab that kid and hold him?
I thought they're just gonna let the kid run off. Like they're just gonna like do like a little goofy wave, and then he's gonna be like, "Well, bye guys," and then he runs off. No problem. But then like he just pulls a gun out and they shoot him. And like you said with Game of Thrones, what could that
kid have done? I mean, he didn't know what the fuck they were doing.
I know.
I know. That's what I was thinking too.
I mean, what's he gonna say? I mean, it didn't look like he's going to say, "Oh, I saw these guys near the train with the hoses."
They're robbing methylamine, obviously.
What if they just took him under their wing and they just trained him to be a meth cook?
I know. Yeah, right. But like, you're going back to Game of Thrones. You like how they did everything off screen with the babies and stuff. Like this show, they showed the kid getting shot. Like I think it was even in the head.
Yeah.
I think it was a headshot. Like you saw the kid. Blood come out of his head.
That was a good shot by Todd.
Yeah, it was a really good shot. Like, that's the first thing I was thinking. I was like, wow, that was a great shot. But I was thinking the kid got shot.
That's all I was thinking.
Yeah, I think the kid had it coming though.
Yeah. What's funny is when Jesse was under the train. It reminded me of that Tosh episode, Colin. Remember when the kid was stuck under the train? And we're like, why was he under the train?
Oh, yeah. He's trying to jump out between the wheels.
Like, it was,
right.
And we're like, oh my god, this is intense. Like that was the first time I ever watched Tosh, and I was like, oh my god, is this kid like?
We're gonna see someone die.
I know. I guess, and we were like, why is that kid under the train? He was robbing methylamine.
Maybe.
And that must. I mean, why else would you be under a train? But yeah, I mean, I would say that was just
why wasn't Jesse trying to jump out between the wheels?
His friend jumped between the wheels. No. Oh my god. But yeah, I mean, that was a crazy fucking ending. I mean,
there was just so many things that could have gone wrong. I mean, I thought that kid was going to get hurt jumping off the top of the train, and
me too.
Because the train was going pretty fast at that point.
I thought they were gonna lose a screw. I thought I thought so many, even when they showed the train moving and they showed the tension between the two cars, I was like, oh no, did they unlatch it by accident and they're just gonna forget the caboose?
Right.
But wow, I never thought I'd say caboose on a podcast, but it's happened. But yeah, I don't know. Like so many things could happen. They finally show the relief, and then they show the kid, and so well done. Bravo for that ending.
Anything else like Flynn and the baby? I can't remember the baby's name. Are at Hank and Marie's now. We actually see them there, and Flynn's all depressed and everything.
Yeah.
And they just kind of showed it just to show it. I think.
Yeah, I thought it was just more filler content. I didn't really think anything of it. I don't know how much longer they're going to be there. I think Walt's kind of accustomed to the idea of it, unless he thinks of something. You know, they're there for the long haul.
Yeah, I mean, the kid's got a point. I mean, how long are they going to keep him there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially with no answers.
Plus, he looks like he's 25 now. I mean,
he does. I noticed it this episode. He looks pretty old.
Yeah.
It's only been a year, but
yeah.
I almost think that Walt should just go back to his condo. If he was smart, he could just go back to his condo. You know?
Yeah, for some reason he wants to maintain the whole family thing. I don't know why.
Yeah, I think that's out the window right now. But I think we've exhausted all our Breaking Bad prowess with this episode. Yeah. We're 35 minutes in. I think we did a good job of deciphering it. We can all give ourselves a pat on the back. So yeah, we're gonna let's call it right now. We'll be back next week and we'll break down episode 6. Follow us on Twitter at CC Connection and email us some suggestions or questions, and maybe we'll answer them on the podcast at ccconnection@gmail.com. Subscribe to us on
the CC Connection.
Right, the CC Connection at gmail.com. Subscribe to us on iTunes to search the CC Connection. Subscribe to us if you're on our YouTube account. If you're watching this, just subscribe to it. You know, just subscribe, and you can watch every episode that comes forward. If you're interested if you like how we do this podcast, listen to our other ones. We do sports, we do Hell on Wheels, other TV shows, movies and such. So check out our other episodes if you like this. And I'm guessing you don't, because YouTube people are assholes and they're mean. They comment mean things. But right now, Colin and I are going to break down the season premiere of Hell on Wheels. So
Bohannon.
So watch that episode. It'll be titled whatever the episode was.
Bohannon episode 1.
Bohannon episode 1 of season 2. All right, guys, this is the CNC Connection signing off.
All right, take care.